so speak your mind freely. I'm your host for today. I'm Kyla Cortez, and joining me are, of course, Dina Lee and Coach Martin Antonio. Happy Monday!
Hi, Monday. Good afternoon.
So thank you guys for tuning in at, it's so early, di ba? Than our usual standard time. But, how are you guys? How's your morning? Nakapag-lunch na ba?
Big ass Super Bowl. Kaya ready. Good game. It's a very good game. But not the result that Kyla wanted to write off the bat.
I know.
Ako ayoko na magsalita eh.
Hindi
Kasi
ka na.
nakarami na ako kay Kyla kanina sa chat natin.
Hindi. Pero,
Smile na lang siya.
pero again, mamaya pupuntahan natin yan.
FYI guys, si Dino pagkapasok pa lang sa studio, nakasmile na siya. Wala siyang ibang sinasabi, wala man lang hi. Talagang nakasmile lang siya. Pang-asar talaga.
May fair warning naman si Dino. Nakangiti na ako.
Sinabi niyo naman. Okay, sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus. Whether you're a die-hard fan or simply love the thrill of the game, we've got you covered. So register now at sportsplus.ph. So sharing with you guys our hot takes for today. First, of course, we'll have the recap for our Super Bowl. Ilang hours pa lang nakakalipas. And then, of course, our PBA Final Four and our SPN expert picks. So, diving into our first hot take, the NFL recap. So, the Philadelphia Eagles defeats the Kansas City Chiefs 22-40, having Jalen Hurts as the Super Bowl MVP. It's such a bad beat, guys. I mean, during the first half, it was 0-24, right? That's heavy for a team na galing sa back-to-back champions. And then, I mean, honestly, ano bang mas masakit mawala? Isang panalo o yung dalawa o yung pangatlo? Diba? But Dino, Coach Hammer, go on.
Okay.
Hot sleep.
First things first, the best yung sinabi ni Tom Brady that every Super Bowl is different. Okay? You gotta take all the memories that you have, you gotta prepare, and every game day is different for the Super Bowl. So, nanalo na sila ng dalawa. This time, got a blueprint from, nabanggit ko to last game, how Tampa Bay did it against Patrick Mahomes. They sent the house, overloaded front seven. I did my research. Tinagna ko yung mga pangalan. Jason Pierre-Paul, and Ndamukong Suh, and Shaq Barrett was heavy on that Tampa Bay championship. Almost 54% win rate on pressures. Yun ang nagawa ng Philadelphia against Patrick Mahomes in this Super Bowl. And every time you put him in that position that he needs to use his legs and make plays, tapos hindi na sasalo ng mga playmakers niya yung bola, medyo alanganin na talaga. Dahil, sinasabi ko kay Dino kanina, no blitzes coming from the second level, which is the linebackers and the DBs ng Philadelphia. I mean, Sweat, the Georgia boys,
Graham.
and Brandon Graham was putting in a lot of work, and dahil nga medyo pilay yung offensive line ng koponan ng Kansas. So the trenches was won very early, and the score showed. First half pa lang, again, I would remind, first half, I said, pick Philadelphia. So, maganda. And I called out two players then that I said would have a very good game in Cooper DeJean, their nickel corner / hybrid DB, and si Zach Bond, who is one of the...
Ano ibig sabihin ng pag-nickel?
Nickel is pwede siyang tatlong cornerback yung pinapasok. So, pang-matchup siya sa mga running back, sa mga tight end. So, usually kasi apat yung mga DB. Pag ginagawa nilang lima, pinapalitan nila isang linebacker. So, siya yung ginagawang nickel na gano'n. And maganda yung nilaro ng depensa talaga. Vic Fangio was way better than Steve Spagnuolo dahil kontrolado rin ang O-line ng Philadelphia yung laro.
Oh my God. I mean, for Cooper DeJean, I mean, happy birthday to him.
Happy
birthday to him.
Ni Saquon Barkley. It was their birthday, and if you add their numbers, it's 59.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
And
diba?
Dino?
I think, yun nga, speaking of Cooper DeJean, yung pick 6 niya, I think that was the turning point of the game. Nag-shift back. Ano yun eh, parang, when the Eagles was up 10-0, parang feel ko Kansas has still had the chance. And yung agaw ni Cooper DeJean doon, tapos na-score niya naging 17-0. That was ang bigat nun for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because before that, their defense was holding up. Naka-touchdown lang ng isa si Philadelphia and then naka-field goal sila. But up to that point, kaya pa ng Kansas City yun. Up until that happened. So to me, nabanggit na rin naman ni Coach Martin, to me, obviously the defense, the keys to the game was the Philadelphia defense. And obviously, kung nagpapant, ibig sabihin hindi nakaka-convert ng first downs ang Kansas City, kailangan mo pa rin umiscore on the offensive end. And that's where the Super Bowl MVP came in, which is Jalen Hurts. Showed up big time.
Yeah.
17 completion passes out of 22 attempts for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yung interception niya hindi mabigat kasi halos nandun sa 5-yard line ng Philadelphia's field. Tapos he had 11 carries with 72 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. So I think touch and push yung fourth and So to me, yun, Philadelphia defense and Jalen Hurts won this game for Philadelphia over Kansas City. Secondly, I think I have to give credit to the resilience of this team, yung Philadelphia Eagles, your Super Bowl 59 champions. Because if you were to recall, ang bigat din nung pagkatalo nila sa Kansas City, which started this attempt to go three-peat. Because yun yung una nila eh. Pangalawa nila was last year against 49ers. Last season wasn't really good for how they finished that season. Hindi maganda. Tapos they were last in the parang one of the last place teams in terms of defense. How they bounced back this season. Sobrang you have to give credit where credit is due. To Coach Nick Sirianni, bringing in Coach Vic Fangio and si Kellen Moore this season, di ba? And obviously kay Jalen Hurts leading this squad, laking bagay nung resilience kasi you could have quit after last season. You could have fallen apart as a team, but they found a way to get this W. At the same time, ako, my third point and ako, I'm just happy for this guy, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Obviously, if alam ng mga fans natin ano nangyari sa kanya last off-season, the New York Giants didn't feel like they could win with him. Or parang they didn't want to pay him as a running back, di ba? So, redemption to sa kanya eh.
True.
Biro mo napunta sa division rival mo, went all the way to the Super Bowl, and nag-champion. Di ba? You gave that guy away, and he deserves all the credit. Because, honestly, sa kanya, on his end, he wanted to stay as a New York Giant for life. And then, when you gave him away,
matter of 1 million, George.
Season, champion agad. So, most rushing yards in an NFL season for Saquon Barkley. So, now for the Chiefs, you still have to give credit to them kasi they also made history. Even though they didn't win this game, syempre nag-celebrate naman ako because obviously I'm rooting for Philadelphia Eagles. Pero nasabi ko naman na yung gusto kong sabihin kanina kay Kyla. Nag-post na rin naman ako on social media. But you have to give credit to them kasi history yan eh, back-to-back and then you make a third Super Bowl. So, wala pang nakakagawa nun. Meron na nakagawa ng back-to-back like the Green Bay Packers, the first two Super Bowls.
Actually, tatlo yun. Bago pa yung first Super Bowl, sila rin yung champion. So, naka-3 straight sila.
Green Bay, di ba? Pero before the Super Bowl era.
Yung una before the Super Bowl, then Super Bowl 1 and 2.
Pero wala sa Super Bowl era, wala pang nakagawa nung back-to-back and make it a third Super Bowl appearance. And gaya nga ng sabi ni Coach Hammer, every Super Bowl, every season is different. Every Super Bowl is different. So, to me, just the fact that they get to a third Super Bowl and had the chance to go back-to-back-to-back or go three-peat, malaking bagay yon. Hindi madali gawin yon. And I wouldn't be surprised by next season because you still have probably one of the greatest quarterbacks. Not the GOAT, one of the greatest quarterbacks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm right. You have Patrick Mahomes there and Coach Andy Reid. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a fourth straight Super Bowl by next season.
I mean, they also have their rookies, Worthy and Rice. I mean, sadly, wala
Rice
si
kasi
Rice.
na-injury,
Yeah,
malaking
exactly.
bagay.
So, sobrang laking bagay na hindi din
Yeah.
complete ang Kansas City. But I want to hear your thoughts, Coach, regarding Kansas City Chiefs' performance.
Well, Kansas, number one, the trenches. Kasi ako, if you're looking at me, as a coach and as a player, the game is won and lost in the trenches. The big boys, the elephants in the room. It's the offensive line and the defensive line. The defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, I have been saying it ad nauseum since this morning to my players and to all of my friends. If they can contain the Georgia boys, Jordan Davis, who had the sack, Jalen,
Josh
Sweat also, Nolan Smith, and Jalen Carter, those big boys. Brandon Graham came back.
Puro Georgia Bulldogs pala yun.
Yung tatlo, nag-champion yun. Davis, Carter, Smith, Nakobe Dean.
Last season.
Yung back-to-back.
Okay.
Sila yung nandoon. Tapos Kelly Ringo. Kaya ang daming Georgia Bulldogs. And you gotta tip your hat to Howie Roseman pagdating dyan. They draft well. Sa kabila naman, there are a lot of questions for this team talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Number one, how do you retool the offensive line? How do you be ready? You need to at least have 8 able bodies. 2 swing tackle, isang kaya mag-plug in sa inside. Dahil pag numinipis, yung offensive line, yun yung nagdidictate. The past 2 seasons, they were very healthy when it comes to their offensive line. Number 2, you need to put a little bit more pass rushers. Nick Bolton has been that joker linebacker. He parang Dion Jones na didikit sa offensive line.
Solid yung
He would control the gaps. But key plays. There were key plays in this game. On that first drive, yung salo ni Jahan Dotson, makikita mo gaano kalaking team player and kaibahan si Saquon Barkley. Blitz, catches, blitz blocking. Naka-penetrate yung, I think it was the Sam linebacker coming downhill for Jalen Hurts, who was there, Saquon Barkley. Blitz blocking, sa pull, conversion kay John Dotson, 4th and long. Muntik na maging touchdown, called back, it was down at the 2-yard line. Power run. Very basic, it was very Philadelphia. Number 2, yung gitna, again, Nick Bolton, sinasabi ko last episode natin on Friday night, magiging open, may island sa gitna. Sinong mau-open? It was Dallas Goedert, who had a very good catch and a penalty to set up that catch by Jahan Dotson. Inatake nila yung middle with isang curl route, isang slow go na route papunta dun sa inside post. So nakakuha sila ng magandang setup dun from that catches, and they were able to get 1 touchdown towards the second half kay Devontae Smith. It was an inside breaking route, inatake na naman nila yung gitna. Because if you're a running team for Philadelphia, yun yung mangyayari. Question now is, Drew Tranquil was there, Nick Bolton was there, but the safeties and the cornerbacks were exposed in that game. Baka masyadong talented lang kasi
I think
talaga
they were too focused on Saquon.
Oo.
Yes,
Yun talaga.
Saquon didn't have the stats that he usually does.
Blitz.
Yeah.
He didn't go over 100 yards. But the little things that he did, the blocking,
Blitz
and the
pick
attention
up.
that he gets,
Exactly.
nakita mo talaga lahat ng play. Di ba kahit hindi siya ganun taas ng rushing yards niya, pero ang dami niyang carries na binibigay.
Yeah.
They were trying to attract the defense towards him, and it opened up for guys like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson.
yun talaga eh.
And that spelled the difference for me.
Oo, yun. And, of course,
The penalties also.
penalties.
Yeah.
Ang daming penalties. But key would always be the offensive line. 6'6", 320 pounds on average, and Cam Jurgens was big in this game. They were able to get those dirty, chunk plays na maliliit. Chunk in a sense na 3 yards, 4 yards, Saquon Barkley power running, yun yung mga nakaka-demoralize. And you put Patrick Mahomes on the bench. Going back, again, maraming questions. Travis Kelce, will he retire or will he stay? Chris Jones, kakapirma lang, but his knee was not good. Kanina, hawak niya yung tuhod niya. And the offensive line. But again, if there is somebody that you can bet on, it's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Hunt family who has been handling the Kansas City Chiefs. And destination kasi sila ng mga veterano. Patrick Mahomes will be there. I mean, kumakatok yung Niners, kumakatok ang Bills, lalo na
Bills.
napakalakas ng katok.
Bengals, if they get a defense.
Cincinnati needs to re-sign T. Higgins and add a little bit more on that defense. But again, pagka ganyan, the top dogs right now are Philadelphia in this team.
Yeah.
I think the nucleus of this team is still together for the next 2 years. So, antabayan na natin how they would be making up for that thing. But again, it starts and ends para sa akin in the trenches. Dahil kanina, nakita natin, parang naka-roller skates ulit si Patrick Mahomes. Takbo siya ng takbo because of pressure there.
It was reminiscent of Super Bowl when they went up against Tampa.
Ganun na ganun.
ganun.
And Kung Su, Jason Pierre-Paul was putting him on blast. Ganun yung nangyari kanina. Yun yung sinasabi ko last Friday na pag hindi nila na-control si Jalen Carter, hindi nila na-control yung mga big boys sa harap, hindi na kailangan rumash si Zach Bond na nakaabang lang nga siya kanina sa gitna. And it was he was expecting a shallow cross. Andun na si Zach Bond, interception. Pinilit na Patrick Mahomes pass na crossbody, Cooper DeJean was able to read it, pick 6. So, yun yung mga kailangan nating antabayanan. Paano nila i-adjust? But again, it's Andy Reid.
But, okay, let's take a break talking about those teams. But how are you guys with the halftime performance? I'm sure na anuhin niyo rin yan. It was here earlier when Kendrick Lamar was performing, yes, with
First
SZA.
5 Grammys, what would you expect? And nail in the coffin.
I
mean,
pagdating naman sa halftime, they always get the top artist
Yeah.
or the, kumbaga, yung mainit na artist, di ba?
Yeah.
Of the current season, right? And parang ano naman hindi naman never tayo ako in terms of the setup, the performance. I don't think you'll ever get disappointed when it comes to the Super Bowl because it takes years. Kasi kung hindi ako nagkakamali, bago pa lang mag-start ang NFL season, ina-announce na kung sino yung performer.
Yep.
And so that means they have a lot of time to prepare for this kind. Kumbaga ano lang yun, parang 10 to 15 minute performance.
15.
So 15 minute performance. So yung planning pa lang doon and the amount that the NFL allots for this kind of performance, if I'm not mistaken, probably around 15 to 20 million US dollars. They don't pay the artists and sometimes the artists themselves
Pay for it.
naglalabas pa sila because
We can pay for his performance.
yeah, Usher also naglabas siya last year because the amount of eyes that are watching the Super Bowl, it brings in a lot of money. So they don't really expect
It's an
the NFL to
investment.
pay for them.
Yeah.
So yung binibigay ng Apple sa NFL, sa pagkakaalam ko, syempre may cut na dun yung malaki cut ng NFL.
Oo naman.
Yeah.
Parang 10 to 15% binibigay nila sa gastos ng pag-set up, sa bayad ng mga backup dancers. And then you saw performances from I don't know how you SZA. And si Serena Williams sa stairs.
It's just
Saka
so weird. It's so weird.
Sumasayaw doon si Serena Williams
Yeah.
and then I think anong pangalan
You
ng guy
know
na
why,
nanarrate? Si Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
di ba? So, to me, might not, hindi kasi ako sobrang fan ni Kendrick Lamar, but I like some of his hits, like Not Like Us. But there are better performances. But ako, hindi naman ako na-disappoint. I watched it. You know, it was fascinating. I mean, it was nice. It was really
I'm
nice.
just curious.
Everybody just wanted the hammer drop. Close the lights, game over. Yun lagi inaantay ng mga tao dyan. Dahil syempre nga, alam naman na lahat, meron silang konting lambingan ni Drake. So,
I'm just curious kung bakit Kendrick no and not Drake.
Well, number one,
I'm
Drake.
just curious.
Well, sa pagpili kasi ng art...
Hindi naman kasi CFL yung naglalaro.
Ano yung CFL?
Canadian football.
Oh my
Oh.
God. Sabagay.
Saka at the same time, ang nagmamanage ng halftime show right now that the NFL has a contract with is Rock Nation, which is under Jay-Z.
I see. Yeah.
So, Jay-Z, I think he has ties with Kendrick Lamar. And parang imposible that you have ties with Kendrick Lamar and you also have ties with Drake. So, malabo mangyari yun. Kasi nga, yun nga, parang I don't think both of these guys like each other. But sa akin, yung halftime performance ng Super Bowl, it's it's an event in an event.
Yeah.
It's two separate eh. So, ang ganda ng marketing tool na to, what I like to give credit to the NFL is because it gets more eyes towards the NFL.
Even
Itatranslate ko para sa'yo, it's for the casuals. For our
Yeah,
readers.
exactly.
It's for the casuals.
They might be able to convert
Exactly.
as fans.
Yes.
Yun talaga yun.
Yeah.
Handful of known artists
Business.
so went. Oh, negosyo yan eh.
Negosyo.
Oh, hindi naman pwede yung mga purists na
I mean, overall, it's a great performance.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also, I don't know guys, if meron kayong nakitang mga favorite celebrities nyo, I mean, everyone's watching
Well,
their...
my favorite celebrity is present
Who?
Sino?
in the 2 championships of Philadelphia. My favorite, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Of course, he
He
is
was like
present.
the analyst,
Yes,
right?
that's why I'm watching. Nakita mo ba? Everybody was expecting Tom Brady to be not a good analyst, but never bet against Tom Brady. And the way that he
Yeah.
delivered that
I
game.
think
Pressure si
he
Mahomes.
only needed time. Saka, given his work ethic as a player, you wouldn't get to 7 Super Bowl championships, 10 Super Bowl appearances if you don't have that, killer instinct. So, dinala niya rin eh. Dinala niya
Gusto
sa...
mo talaga yung tweet na yun ni Nick Foles na
Ano sabi niya?
si Tom Brady ay present sa 2 championship ng Philadelphia.
Yeah. Ako, ang nakita ko si obviously Kevin Hart.
Yeah, oh my
Natin yung celebration ni Kevin
Oh
Hart.
my goodness!
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway!
And obviously, wala na siya dito sa mundo for Kobe, 'di ba? He's a Philadelphia guy.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles may jersey pa nga siya eh. So,
yung number 8.
So, and obviously, first time, US President nanood ng Super Bowl. Donald Trump was in the house. And nung pinakita nga si Taylor Swift, binunga siya ng mga, di ba?
exactly.
Parang ano eh, I don't think,
She's
I think it's the
now
first time
new,
she got booed like that. Kasi,
Yeah.
sa concerts niya, I don't think anyone boos him, right?
Yeah.
So first time niya na-experience yung,
Who's this Ant-Man guy, Paul Rudd?
si Paul Rudd.
He was like
Kansas City.
so
He was out of it. He's a Kansas City.
hardcore Kansas City fan.
Iba yan.
Iba talaga.
Wala, nakadalawa na kayo lang yan. Ganun talaga. It's the
Okay.
time of Philadelphia. And I hope Philadelphia will withstand all the celebrations coming to them. We don't want the city to be burnt down.
Tsaka, kung hindi ako nagkakamali going back to this yung back three-peat conversation, if I'm not mistaken, the last time a professional sports team in the US won three-peat was Kobe Shaq Lakers.
Yeah.
After nyan, wala pang nagti-three-peat. So, that's actually the beauty of
Hindi ko alam
US
kung
sports.
sa baseball meron at saka sa
Parang wala eh.
wala pa ako. Hindi ko alam kung Giants. Pero nag-back-to-back.
Pwedeng back-to-back eh, pero wala pa yung nagti-three-peat ulit eh. So to me, that's the beauty of sports in the US is ang hirap mag-dominate eh. Dito makikita mo, nangyayari yun eh, yung tatlong sa isang season. I think Magnolia
Alam
did
na
it.
eh.
Oo, Magnolia did it. So yun, I think magandang matuto yung mga commissioners ng Philippine sports leagues natin from how they manage the leagues out there na, pag ganyan, daming competitive teams, hindi mo alam kung sino magcha-champion, that's where you attract a lot of eyes. So hopefully they learn from the NFL.
Yeah.
Matutunan nila yung negosyo.
Alright, okay. It's time to move on to our second hot take. So, PBA Final 4 of the Commissioner's Cup. So, the first game will be on Feb 26. So, TNT Tropang Giga will go against Rain or Shine, while Ginebra San Miguel will face the Northport Batang Piers. So, what do we have here?
Tough matchup for Global Port. Number 1, of course, they're the top team after the eliminations, but we know Ginebra. And Ginebra went through the eye of the needle to get into that semi-final game. Down to the last possession. Ganun kahigpit yung pinagdaanan nila. But they're there, and this will be a test. If Northport really is a contender or a pretender. Sa kabila naman yan, bakbakan yan. Di na ako pipili dyan.
Speaking
Pero kung pipili ka,
Siyempre, alam mo rin.
ay, Tok-Index ka pala.
Alam mo rin pipili ko.
Tok-Index ka nga pala.
Pagka pumasok ng finals, naka-blue ako sa lahat ng episode natin. Northport Ginebra.
Okay.
Okay. So, to me, nabanggit nga ni Kyla na February 26 pa yung game because of FIBA window, FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. So, may dalawang laro pa yung Gilas natin. So, on Feb 20, we will be playing against, we will be visiting.
Tatlo, di ba? Tatlong packet. Tatlo.
May packet tournament ka, tapos may dalawang laro ka sa FIBA Asia Cup qualifier. So, packet
Limang laro.
Parang, lalabas.
Tatlo dun sa pocket tournament, dalawa dun sa FIBA window.
Yes. So, basically, since natapos yung quarterfinals, quarterfinals, PBA quarterfinals yesterday, ayun na, FIBA window na tayo, malamang training camp yan. Then obviously, second Doha International Cup from Feb 15 to 17. They'll be playing 3 teams. And then Feb 20 Taipei, Feb 23 New Zealand. So, going to this matchup, it would be interesting to see. Kasi qualified na tayo basically sa FIBA Asia, whether we lose the game against Chinese Taipei and New Zealand. Obviously, we won't be having Kai Soto because of his ACL injury. But it would be interesting to see, dahil qualified na tayo, paano gagamitin ni Coach Tim Cone? Kasi siya rin ang coach ng Ginebra eh. Si Justin Brownlee, si Scottie Thompson, saka si Japeth. Diba? And also you have Troy Rosario who was inserted in sa pool ni injury. Pero naglaro siya in all 3 games. And ang sabi, he is day-to-day. He'll probably rest for the next 5 to 7 days or 5 to 10 days.
Hindi lalaro.
Oo, malamang. So ako interested ako kasi Chinese Taipei kahit wala si Brownie, feel ko kayang-kaya natin eh. Or baka gamitin mas gamitin ibang players natin. For New Zealand, that would be interesting. Would they go for the win or would Coach Tim Cone put in his agenda of preserving his key players for the series against Northport? Kasi last game mo, Feb 23, lalaro ka ng 26, babiyahe ka pa. So malamang baka hindi na nga nila paliparin si Justin Brownlee dun sa New Zealand, di ba? So,
sino bang FSA natin na backup?
Yung
Ange, di ba?
Ange Kwame, pwedeng Ange Kwame, di ba? So, now when it comes to this matchup, apart from that, when it comes obviously coaching experience, I would put Tim Cone over Bonitan. Experience-wise, obviously Barangay Ginebra, Northport. Kasi parang first time ata nakapasok ng semis ng Northport eh. So, hindi sila sanay. In crowd pa lang, third in franchise in history. Tapos, ang crowd natin, meron ba nag-cheer ng Northport? Wala naman eh, di ba? Pumunta ka Araneta, pumunta ka Inares, pumunta ka ng PBA on tour, wala ka maririnig nag-cheer.
Pati lolo mo, alam yung cheer ng Ginebra.
Oo, di ba? Walang magda-Northport, walang ganun, di ba? So, alam natin lamang dito ang Barangay Ginebra. Now, the only thing I feel like Northport has the edge over Barangay Ginebra is the rest. Kasi may Gilas duties ang mga natin eh. Before the season started, may Gilas duties sila. Brownie, Scottie Thompson. And then ngayon, may Gilas duties na naman sila. Now, kaya yon, interested to see. But I see Ginebra winning this series over Northport.
Usapan din ngayon ng Ginebra because of RJ and the threats. Diba? The recent threats.
Saka yan, number 1 defense eh. So, sa akin, obviously, offensively, Barangay Ginebra's pace isn't at par with Northport kasi because of the triangle offense na they have to set it up and everything, look for the best option. Pero defensively, I think, saka turnover, they take care of the ball. So, experience talaga, I would go for Ginebra.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
Going back to this, sorry Kayla.
Go.
Yung pupuntahan kong point eh. I mean, the regular season is just run and gun. Showcase of offensive talent. But in a 5-game series, no?
Best of 7.
Best of 7 semi-final series, your strengths will be taken away. Okay. And you would bank on execution, number 1. Number 2, your experience. And 1.1 is your defense. Lagi ako naniniwala. And everybody who won a championship.
Just like Super Bowl. Itong Super Bowl
sabi ni
15
Jalen Hurts, defense wins championships. And it has been proven time and time again that if you have the best defensive unit, most of the time, you can take care of business in any 7-game series. Kasi things might change, but your defensive philosophy, defensive concepts, defensive game plan will be tinkered every so little lang. Ganyan. And we know that Tim Cone is a defensive coach. Hindi na to parang open court lang na takbuhan. Kailangan mo mag-execute. Hindi pa nasusubukan o mag-execute ang Northport. Kaya sila number 1 in scoring. Kaya sila nananalo kasi ina-outscore talaga nila yung kalaban. Ngayon, strength on strength. Best defensive team, best offensive team. Dito tayo magkikita. And nakakarga pa yung experience sa Ginebra. So, pares tayo ng pick yung Ginebra. Ginebra in siguro mga 5 games. Ako 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
Ako, 5.
Pero may secret weapon kasi yung Northport.
Ako 5 ako.
May secret weapon yung Northport. Dami kong tapay.
Okay.
My boy! My boy!
Ako 5. Kasi ang haba nung series eh. And alam natin yung experience ni Coach Tim Cone dito. The only thing that I see na in favor of Northport is yung pahinga eh. Kasi, I mean, since last year, Justin Brownlee has been playing a lot of basketball. Not just for us, naglaro rin to sa Indonesia. So,
May panalay pa yan.
Oo. Paano palalay?
Meron yan. Ligan naman.
Ligan naman.
Laging meron. Pag season.
Hindi lang recorded.
Hindi ko alam. Narinig ko lang.
Hindi lang recorded.
Guys, let's just move on to our second matchup naman. TNT and Rain or Shine.
No, rematch? Diba?
TNT to.
TNT.
Because of TNT's defense.
Yep.
Nakita nyo yung ginawa, di ba, just looking back, I'm just predicting right now, this will be, yung finals ng PBA Commissioner's Cup will be a rematch of the PBA Governor's Cup between the TNT and Barangay Ginebra. So bakit TNT? Grabe yung defense talaga nito, bukod sa, di ba? Tsaka yung, lang yan, defense ng TNT, tsaka RHG. Yan yung reason bakit mananalo ang TNT this series against Rain or Shine. To me, right now in the PBA, the best import or the import that is ruling the PBA is Ronde Hollis Jefferson.
Go hard, ikaw.
Workhorse eh. Hindi mo kailangan pasabin eh. Tsaka wala siyang sabunako, walang ganun.
Saka Brad,
Ayaw magpasab.
Iba yung diin niya ngayon.
Oo.
Kasi Ramadan season and in prayer. Madiin lalo yan, pre.
Ano ba siya?
Yes.
Muslim ba siya?
Oo, kaya madiin yan. Madiin yan.
Iba.
And gumagana kasi yung mga pyesa rin nila. Defensively, they have clearly defined roles. It would be, I want to see how Coach Chot will be handling all these young attackers ng Rain or Shine. Dahil they're a team that's very aggressive. And yung tema kasi ng laro ng Talk and Text, veterano na rin eh. Alam nila kung sa kanila dadalhin, alam nila yung mga percentages. Galing na scout nito. Galing yung scouting ng TNT. And the tendencies of the players. Alam mo naman yan eh, lahat ng teams ginagawa yan. Pero sino yung makakastick dun sa game plan? And kung meron kang Pugoy tsaka off-tana na lights out yung nilalaro, medyo may advantage ka na. Sa kabila naman, it's no home.
May rin ng bata ka pa.
Oo, may nang bata ka pa. Hindi pa pumuputok ka.
That's obviously Jason Castro.
Jason's been solid. Hindi tumatanda si Abby.
Oo nga eh.
Hindi tumatanda eh.
Parang feel ko alagang-alaga eh.
Kakampi ko pa yan.
Di ba nakalaban mo pa yan sa
Oo, wala pa.
Sa
NC.
Finals.
Oo.
Kasama mo si Ekwe.
Yes.
Siya, si Gabi Espinas, saka si Bo
Belga,
di ba?
Yeah.
Si Bo, nag-decline na yung laro. Pero si Jason Castro.
Hindi nag-decline yung laro ni Bo. Nag-give way na siya. Nag-give way na
Pero,
sa mga mas bata. Picking his spots na.
Okay.
Picking his spots as a leader. Bo, pare. Picking his spots as a leader and added an outside shot.
Pero
But
sa
still,
lakas ng tatlo, si Gabi, Jason, saka Bo, Jason pa rin pinakamalakas.
Iba naman yung Gabi Espinas at saka yung Jason Castro.
Pero nung time na kalaban mo pa sila, si Gabi ang malakas doon.
Inaaysan ko yung dibdib ko para kay Gabi Espinas. Napanood ko nga yung replay ng 3 games. Naramdaman ko na naman, payat kasi ako dati.
Okay, but I'm curious, I need you guys to point out your predictions for this match. TNT and Rain or Shine.
TNT in 6. Ako yung 6.
TNT in 6.
TNT in 6.
Okay, to recap for Ginebra against Ginebra and Northport.
Ako in 5.
Ako in 6.
6 then. And then for TNT and Rain or Shine, 6 as
TNT
well.
6.
Okay, now it's time to move on to our SPN expert picks.
Ito may...
Saka
Okay.
dadagdag ko parang di papayag si Al Francis, si Boss Al ng
Northport
No,
ang
wag-
Northport ang papasok sa, sa finals, di ba?
Hindi magpapatibag.
Parang-
Okay. So first,
Baka
Atlanta.
makalbo siya niyan. Baka makalbo siya niyan, di ba?
Pero si Coach Pido eh. Mark! Parang mas presko pagkakalbo tayo.
Baka makalbo siya
Okay
niyan.
na,
Ay,
Coach. Okay na, Coach, ha? Yung coach ko si Coach Pido, long hair pa ako eh. Sabi niya, Mark! Parang maganda. Iba yung bitaw natin. Pag di ba kalbo sila lagi sa USD, naging coach ko siya sa Amat.
Oo, kailangan semical eh.
Oo, lumalaban pa ako noon eh. Mahaba pa yung buhok ko eh. Ayaw,
Naging
Coach,
advance ka
huwag
pa
muna.
nun, Coach.
Hindi naman
naman?
naiba. Nakabagsak lang yung buhok ko. Kala ko tutubo ko eh. Sabi niya, Mark!
Pwede pa ata si Coach Hammer sa UST.
Parang maganda yung bitaw natin pagka-semical ka. Ayaw, Coach. Yung mga iba, naubos na yung buhok. Kami, Raymond Aguilar, ako, si Franz Delgado, si Agi. Bonus na lang ng bonus, sila pa yun. Baby niya yan, si Raymond Aguilar. Favorite ni Coach Pido yan, coach ko siya.
Okay, let's go international again for the SPN expert picks.
Teka lang ha, kasi scoring na tayo ngayon sa expert picks. So, ginawa ko na talaga yung homework ko. Ngayon, dahil meron palang plaque card.
Scoreboard.
May scoreboard eh. Ngayon, yari na.
Okay,
Ngat-ngatan
first,
tayo.
Atlanta Hawks against Orlando Magic.
Orlando,
Orlando.
very very healthy now. The Wagners are doing well. Paolo Banchero is back, and their toughness is getting back. And this is a playoff implications to eh. Na they're trying to make up for lost time. They lost Paolo Banchero for an extended period
Of time.
So kailangan nila ngayon maghabol dahil papasok ng All-Star break, and then stretch run na yan papasok sa Eastern Conference Finals.
I see.
Well,
Do you agree?
ako Orlando din ako dito. Well, currently, magkadikit lang to sa standings. 26-28 si Orlando, good for number 8 in the Eastern Conference. Tapos si Atlanta, good for number 9. Now, if you were to look at the recent moves of the Atlanta Hawks and their availability ng mga players nila, they just lost, I think, a couple of weeks
Two of their best players.
Oh, obviously, Trae Young is there, but Jalen Johnson, who's their third leading scorer, probably their second best player right now for the Atlanta Hawks, out for the season with a left shoulder surgery. Now, their second leading scorer, or probably their third best player, which is DeAndre Hunter, is no longer with the team. He got traded to Cleveland for picks and Caris LeVert. And also, they traded away Bogdanovic to the Clippers for picks as well. So, makikita mo sa moves ng Atlanta is they're not trying to win for the second half of the season. Orlando has their big guns right now. So, and obviously, led by Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. So, to me, yung situation ng parehas na teams.
Ganda na laro ni Wagner nung pagbalik.
Iba yung may Paolo Banchero. So I think they will hit their stride, especially once the second half of the season comes in. Ang laking bagay kasi bata pa tong dalawang players. Diyan lamang yung mga batang players eh. Yung during the regular season. Pukpok talaga.
Bakbak sila
So to
maglaro.
me, itong Atlanta Hawks, Orlando, even though they don't have Jalen Suggs, who is doubtful for the left quad contusion in tomorrow's game, I think they'll win. Ito, at home pa to, lamang pa to. They're 16-9 at home. Atlanta is on the road is 13-16. So, ano yan? Orlando yan.
Okay, and for the next game naman, Minnesota Timberwolves against Cleveland
Oh,
Cavaliers.
reloaded Cleveland. We saw Minnesota and their endgame miscues against Memphis. I watched that game. Replay yata yung napanood ko. Last 30 seconds, palitan ng basket, and then Julius Randle did Julius Randle things. Umatake na nakayuko, turnover, basket si Ja Morant. Umatake ulit, Ja Morant, game clinching basket. Yun yung nawala sa kanila, and Ant-Man was shaking his damn head when that happened. So that's not a good sight. And then, nabanggit nga ni Dino, DeAndre Hunter is a big piece for this squad. Ngayon, they have the advantage of playing big with Allen, Mobley, Hunter, and Okoro.
Tapos may Donovan ka pa.
Meron kang Garland or Donovan, or they can play extra small with Okoro and DeAndre Hunter as forwards, and then either Janet Allen or Evan Mobley. And who did they just give up? It was just Caris LeVert, who is
Hindi pala Bogdan, sorry.
very good wing player and scorer. But for this team, mas bagay si DeAndre Hunter kasi for one thing and one thing only, DeAndre Hunter is a competitive defensive player.
Ano siya, two-way.
Oo, two-way.
Two-way player
So lahat ng mga players nila ngayon, kasi kailangan may compensate, maliit yung backcourt nila with Donovan Mitchell, who is optimistically listed at 6'2", pero yung wingspan kasi 6'7", so it compensates for it. And si Darius Garland, who is 6'2", but on wingspan, mga 6'7", 6'8 din.
Oh my goodness.
Cleveland probably got their main defender in DeAndre Hunter. Na babantay sa mga wings, top wings. Ano yun, pangbantay mo yung kay Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Yun yung dalawa, kaya kumuha sila ng
Yun yung mabigat eh. Parang I think they're trying to win now. Obviously, they're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're trying to win now. And they're trying to get pieces before the trade deadline na kayang tumapat dun sa mga, na kayang bumantay sa...
Arms race na yan.
Parang binubuo na nila yun for New York, for Boston during the playoffs eh. So to me, ang dami ring injuries actually ng Minnesota. That's why, tapos home court pa ng Cleveland. That's why I'm picking Cleveland. So, Mike Conley is questionable for this game with the right index finger sprain. Dante DiVincenzo is out with the left great toe sprain. Anthony Edwards is questionable with the right hip soreness. Julius Randle is out with the right groin strain. So to me, hindi parang pwedeng ibigay na neto ng Minnesota sa Cleveland eh. So possible
itawid lang.
Tawid na lang para
tawid lang, makapasok lang
i-reserve lang.
Pasok lang sa playoffs doon na magngangat-ngatan.
If you look at the standing of Minnesota in the Western, they're currently number 6. So medyo okay yan.
Wala ka sa play-in.
Just behind the Los Angeles Lakers, who's playing really well right now. 30-23, you can afford to lose this game. So to me, pwede mong ipahinga, i-load management. Scheduled loss talaga eh. Kasi it's a you still have so much basketball to be played.
Kasi tsaka Cleveland kailangan maglaro with DeAndre Hunter. They really need to play.
Tsaka healthy, walang injured ng Cleveland. So tingin ko, Cleveland talaga to.
Okay, and the next naman, Sacramento Kings against Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, Dallas will be out for blood every time. But Anthony Davis.
Dallas ka dito?
Oh, Dallas ako dito eh. Anthony Davis kasi na-tweak yung groin. Yun yung hindi ko ina-expect na bigla, it's the Anthony Davis experience. So he would be out for weeks. So ako ang pick ko dito kasi Dallas to begin with. Kasi nakita ko yung first 3 quarters bago na injured si Anthony Davis. Kinilig ako eh kasi ball stopper si Luka. Yun yung totoo. Sa system ni Jason Kidd, kailangan umiikot yung bola. So, lumabas yung laro ni Klay Thompson. That's one. Si Kyrie, nakaka-distribute ng mas maganda, hindi one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me.
Grabe yung nilaro ni AD.
Yun nga. Grabe yung nilaro ni AD. Tapos, the pieces that Dallas had fell into place. Parang mas fit na magkakasama ito kaysa sa may dalawang ball stopper. Pero, ang laking bagay na na-injured si AD. So, who's the next man up? Yun yung question. And marami rin sila mga pieces and we're waiting for the buyout situation. Sino magpipirma kay kanino, sino yung mga veteranong bibitawan.
What about you, Ino?
Ako dito, magsa-Sacramento ako dito. Kasi, laking bagay pag wala kang Anthony Davis. Tapos wala ka pang Derek Lively. Right ankle stress fracture. Yung kay Anthony, it's left adductor strain. Then, Caleb Martin is out with the right hip strain. Bagong addition lang nila through trade. Max Christie is questionable with the right shoulder strain. PJ Washington is questionable with the right ankle sprain. So, kung di pa naglaro to si Max...
Scheduling ko, hindi ko nakita yung kay Anthony Davis.
So, si Max Christie tsaka si PJ Washington dahil questionable sila. And during their first meeting, panalo ang Sacramento. Walang Luka, walang Kyrie, walang Klay, walang Lively Naji. So, I think the concern with Dallas this season has been the health of their players. Kyrie has missed games, Luka has missed games. Now, Anthony Davis, their newest addition, is gonna miss a lot of games, multiple weeks yan eh. Tapos Klay Thompson has missed games, Derek Lively has missed games. So, yun yung question mark sa kanila. Now, for this game, they're missing a lot of players. Sacramento, yes, nawala yung De'Aaron Fox. Pero they got back si Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Nakikita ko dito, they might not have, by the end of the regular season, baka hindi sila makapasok ng playoffs. Or they might be at most a play-in team. Pero they have still a lot of basketball left to play. I don't see them tanking, maybe at the latter part. But ako, tingin ko, from this, after they traded away the Aaron Fox, yung nakikita ko dito for Sacramento is what do they have coming into next season? They're trying to figure out the pieces eh. Do we trade away Zach LaVine or anong gagawin natin? They're trying to figure out post the Aaron Fox era kung sino yung mga i-retain nila at sino yung magiging main guys nila at sino yung bibitawan nila. So, kaya kailangan, tingin ko, they have basketball, kumbaga they want to win.
Yeah.
They want to win. To figure out the rotations, what pieces did they have next season. So I see Sacramento winning this game.
And important tong matchup na to kasi right now, as the team standings goes, Dallas is number 8, Sacramento is number 9, and the Phoenix is number 10 at the 11th spot, striking distance at 500 is Golden State. So tabla yung Sacramento, Phoenix, saka Golden State. So kailangan nila mag-run para makakuha ng panalo. Pero I'm picking Dallas here.
Dallas. Okay, just to recap your picks for Dino, Orlando, Cleveland, and Sacramento, while for Coach Hammer, Orlando Magic, Cleveland, and Dallas.
Oh, sabay bigla magdi-DNP si Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Patay tayo dyan.
Okay, let's go to our comments. Sige. Okay, Northport versus Rain or Shine naman sa finals. Sawang-sawa na kami sa mga MVP at SMC teams. Baduy na silang panoorin.
Oh, pwede. Para something new naman para sa fans.
Baka walang
Fan.
manood. Yun lang yung sa akin. Eh.
Yun.
Pag Hinebra TNT yan, or Hinebra Rain or sige, okay lang yung sa side ng TNT Rain or Shine eh. Pero yung dito side, for what's good for business is having Barangay Hinebra in the finals.
Yeah.
So baka ito yung, baka pag Northport sa Rain or Shine, baka walang manood.
As you guys
Parang
Meron
mentioned.
yan.
ha?
Meron yan.
Oo, malamang empleyado, yung
Mamimigay
mga
ka-
pamilya,
mamimigay ka ng
kamag-anak,
ticket dun sa
mga-
pier, daming manunod
Hindi,
dyan.
oo, may manonood. Pamilya, yung kamag-anak, mga ganun, di ba?
Para sa fans.
Para sa
Mga
fans.
dating coach, manonood sa player, dating player
Mo
nila.
witness, no?
Pero wala yung fans, di ba? Malabo yan.
Pero
Pero
ka naman, lahat naman ng player ko pinanonood ko sa mga team.
yun, dating coach, sinasabi ko nga sa'yo eh. Pero yung talagang yung walang affiliation sa players, pero you root for the team, makukuha mo yan sa pag Hinebra yung nasa finals. So, business-wise,
Di pa nga nakakapagsalita, Hinebra na yung bata eh.
di ba?
Hinebra yung magulang eh.
Di ba? Yun yung pero Northport, wala kang marinig na nag-cheer na Northport, di ba?
Baka naman yung mga sino nang manalo kahit sino na wag lang rain or shine.
Pero meron yung every game ng NC, PBA, nandun lagi sila eh, di ba? Yun talaga.
Yun ba yan?
Pero hindi sila fan ng isang team, fan sila ng lahat ng teams. Depende
I
kung sino
see.
naglalaro, di ba?
Okay, thank you so much for that comment. Our next comment, Jalen Hurts talaga nagdala. Iyak na naman mga Swifties.
Ngayon lang.
Nakasabi lang. Oo, kaya...
Ngayon lang ulit.
Saka yung isang fumble ni Jalen Hurts was the same play na yung running back niya hindi nag-block. Saquon Barkley sacrificing himself on that blitz pickup. Tinilig ako doon. Yun nga, yung unang drive yung blitz pickup na yun. Kasi kung natakil si Jalen Hurts, iba yung kwento. Kasi fourth and long yun. Kaya, pero, sabi nga na, sa ganda nung ad ng saktong-sakto yung Jordan brand.
Yeah,
Nilabas
saw that.
nila yung Love Hurts na ad ngayon. Kasi di ba nilabas yung band na sapatos, shout out Gino. Yung Jordan
Pwede
1
ba
na
pa-shoutout
Jordan
yun?
1 na band.
Gino.
At saka yung mga kaibigan sa Titan. Jordan brand, nilabas nila yung band over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yung Bread Ones. Tapos pinasuot nila kay Jalen Hurts kanina yung Bread Ones na naka-cross out yung check. Tapos unbanned, nakasulat sa likod. And then after winning the Super Bowl MVP, nilabas nila yung ad.
Grabe rin, no? This NFL, tatlo pinag-uusapan. The actual game, the halftime, and yung ads.
Oo,
Kasi ngayon,
yun
marami
talaga
na
yan.
silang nirelease eh.
Marami nga nanonood para lang sa
Yung iba, sabihin nila talaga for the ad.
Per 30-second commercial ngayon, I think the going rate is $8 million.
Grabe.
So, imagine the amount of money.
The amount of eyeballs, sa tayo nga Pinoy, nandito tayo nanonood eh. Yung mga kabarkada ko, ilang kami nasa group chat namin, pati mga asawa namin, pati yung mga barkada, pati magulang namin, dahil umaga nanonood, yung mga retired.
That's the number one. I think every year the number one show in the US
It's the Super Bowl.
is the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Kaya nga gusto nilang 18 weeks eh, para President's Day. Mas
More.
marami ang manood, tsaka mas marami ang, it's
Catching.
yung araw na yun gusto nilang gawing tourism day. Na parang
Yes.
lahat, bumomba na kayo ng bumomba kasi bukas, holiday. Araw ni Trump, kinabukasan. Kaya, President's Day di ba?
Saka the top 70 shows back in 2024, 70 of the 100
Football game.
NFL games.
Yeah.
So, well, sorry to the Swifties. First time,
Kasama lang yan,
kasama yan eh.
Kayo naman, last year lang kayo sumama sa Chiefs Kingdom.
Ako,
Nasakta na agad kayo. Huwag naman ganun.
Kaya kaya the TV networks like Fox, ESPN, CBS, they really fight for the media rights. They pay a lot of
Yeah.
money for this media rights deal. Kasi panalo ang Fox dito kasi si Fox ang nagbebenta si Fox Sports ang
Yeah.
nagbebenta ng ads na to. So yung 8 million, that's straight right to their pockets because they paid the NFL for the media rights deal, which is worth billions of dollars.
Sila yung magbebenta.
Yes.
Big as the what? Big as the
For sure,
Super Bowl.
for sure, pag nilabas yung ratings nito, sobrang taas nitong game.
Oo.
Iba.
Kasi sobrang dami nag-cheer against.
Oo, Kansas City Chiefs. Nakita nila lamang yung score, manunod ka talaga. Kasi ako
nilang
kasi,
makitang-
pag kuwari, nag-24-0 yung Chiefs, papatayin ko na yun, hindi na ako manunod. Pero dahil lamang yung Philadelphia,
Gigil na talunin.
Iba talaga.
tinapos ko hanggang interview, hanggang pagkatapos ng game, tinapos ko yung awarding ceremony.
Hanggang mawala yung stream
Oh.
Hindi, tsaka ito kanina nagbubuhat ako before, after practice, I went to get a workout in. Nakakatuwa kasi yung mga kasabay ko, mga nagbubuhat din,
Yung
females, nanonood sila nung halftime, nire-replay nila. So, ganun karami yung nare-reach na to.
Iba yung business.
Kasi paano hindi mo nalaman, nakatodo yung volume ng cellphone eh.
Hindi daw si Ciza eh.
Oh.
Okay, thank you so much for your comment. Moving on to our next comment. Ibang klase si Travis Kelce, na-surpass niya pa yung record ni Jerry Wright.
Yeah, receiving in the Super Bowl dahil, longevity, tsaka option 1 siya. Nung si Jerry Rice naman, when they were running the West Coast offense, they had Roger Craig, they had Terrell Owens, hindi na nag-Super Bowl si Terrell Owens. But that offense was super powered then, but it was more of a running offense than yung sa Niners when they were running that West Coast. Pero again, not to take anything away with Travis Kelce, might go down as the second best tight end after Ron Gronkowski because Travis Kelce can't block and won't block. Okay, he can block, but he's not a willing blocker like Rob Gronkowski and tight ends. Alala ko, tinignan ko yung play sheet ko. Y power, 27 Y power. Tinignan ko ulit yung play sheet, tapos tinignan ko yung video nung sinasabi kong play. Ano ba to? Yung unang-una ko makikita, yung gilid ng visor ng linebacker, tapos kailangan tamaan ko ng forehead ko yung gilid ng visor.
Oh my goodness.
27 Y power.
But I don't know, I'm not satisfied with Travis' performance this
He's getting old.
game.
He's getting older. He lost his step. He definitely lost his step.
Actually, parang isang catch lang ata siya itong game eh. Di ba? Tapos ano na yun, garbage time na yun.
Yung dalawang touchdown niya na, garbage
Well,
touchdown.
for me kasi, the ultimate team sport sa buong mundo is American football.
Yeah.
Kasi sa basketball, you can win games kahit iilan lang yung magagaling mo eh. Pero sa football kasi, if wala kang offensive line, kahit magaling yung receivers mo, tight end mo, magaling sumalo, walang oras para makapagbato yung quarterback, wala rin mangyayari.
Yeah.
And nakita mo naman, parang sabi niya, yung ginawa kay Patrick Mahomes ng Philadelphia Eagles,
Deer in the headlights.
hindi na nila pinahinga eh. Parang alam mo yun, parang hindi ko alam ano yung pwedeng how to describe what happened to hindi na nila pinahinga.
He was rushed. He was under duress every time.
Yep.
The receivers were blanketed, and the sheer work rate and volume of people who were interchangeable. Yun yung ginawa ni what's his name? Howard, their general manager.
Howie
Roseman. That's what he did. Building that defensive line, building that pass rush core, recruiting enough people that can sub in and out to put pressure. Kasi gano'n naman pag magaling yung QB, ganun yung ginagawa nila kay Tom Brady noon na kailangan maraming nag-rush. Yun yung ginawa ng New York with Justin Tuck, Mike Strahan, and those bad boys. Ganun yung ginawa kay Tom Brady ng Philadelphia din. When sila Fletcher Cox, talagang iba-iba nirarush. If you have a pocket passer who is very accurate, you need to take his timing, you need to take his touching, and you need to take out his vision. So yung tatlong yun, nawala kay Patrick Mahomes, and naririnig mo yung footsteps kasi first half pa lang 4 na sack, and first series ni Patrick Mahomes.
Ramdam niya
Ramdam niya
Kahit di pa lumalaki, di pa natatamaan.
Brad, nag-4th and 31 First drive 4th and 31 nung bootleg niya. Pagharap niya, nandoon na siya doon sa end zone niya, and hindi, wala talagang, wala kang tulak kabigyan, and ang ganda ng game plan.
He was running for his life.
Exactly.
Parang parang snatcher kuwari sa atin, sa terms ng Philippines, snatcher siya, pero ang daming humahabol sa kanyang pulis. Ganun nangyari kay Patrick Mahomes.
Nakapalibot.
Si Cardo Dalisa yung humahabol sa
Parang
kanya.
ganun ang nangyari.
Hindi humihinto, hindi tinatablan.
Di ba, minsan yung mga motor sa EDSA, di ba, nag-violate na nga, tatakasan pa yung mga enforcer, di ba? Parang kinuyog siya ganun nangyari kay Patrick Mahomes kanina.
Yeah.
Kinuyog talaga.
Yun din talaga yung root cause. Okay, anyway, thank you so much, Shaf, for your comment. Our last comment for today. Philly baby, Kobe's flying with the Eagles in heaven. Total domination. Tama na muna, Kansas. Time naman ng Philly. See you next Super Bowl. See you next year.
It's Philadelphia's time, and they built this team to win this year. Could have not written a better ending dahil with a lot of people giving up on not even giving up, but a lot of people questioning Saquon Barkley if he could still be the dynamic playmaker. Ako, favorite ko dito si Zach Bond at saka si Cooper DeJean. Kaya ako sila pinik. Kasi Cooper DeJean is recovering from a broken leg. He fell to the second round of the draft. He was the best athlete, but since he had injury concerns coming out of Iowa, he is one of the first white DBs again na cornerback.
Steals.
Oh. So,
Galing yung anticipation niya.
Naging very good player sa kanila. Good pickup by Howie Roseman again. And Zach Bond, ang nakakatuwa nga.
Jalen Carter pa.
Nung ini-interview siya, sabi niya, after last season, his fourth one in Louisiana, for the New Orleans Saints, he thought that his career might be over. And then, ngayon, first team All-Pro siya as an inside linebacker. He got a pick.
1-year contract. Contract.
So he is up for. I think he signed for 2 this year. Philadelphia saw something special in him, and Philadelphia would be hypercritical to you, but they would also love you in perpetuity if you are that type of player. And this team reflects their community.
They deserve it, honestly, but I'm just happy that Jason Kelsey is happy.
Tumaob yung sinasakyan ng kotse. Nakita niyo ba yun? Nakasakay siya sa golf cart na Philadelphia helmet. Tapos suot niya yung sinuot niya doon sa Super Bowl yesterday. Media row. Pagliko, tumaob I'm okay.
And what about you, Nino?
Well, kumbaga, these teams, isa lang talaga mag-champion. You can't take anything away from Kansas City, but you also have to give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles for their resiliency. From what happened last season to how their journey went this season, grabe yung turnaround nila. Nag-ano sila parang pinag-ano na nga sila parang pinagtatawanan na nga sila last year na nag-fall apart and everything.
Yeah.
One of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Redemption
Pero
talaga.
they turned it around. They didn't give up. That's the value of sports. It teaches us, not just kasi it's easy when you're winning. What's the most difficult part is when everything is falling apart, when you're losing, when you're struggling, when you're facing roadblocks and challenges and obstacles. Diyan lalabas yung tunay na character ng isang team is how you bounce back from that. Just like what Kansas City did when they lost against Tampa Bay, they didn't allow that to kumbaga prevent them from going back to back and making it a third Super Bowl appearance. So yung nakita ko dito sa dalawang teams na to, ngayon with the current champion right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, is yung resiliency. And I hope that I could emulate that as well in my life na may mga highs and lows din ako sa buhay ko, may mga challenges, obstacles. How do I bounce back, di ba? Gandang example tong teams na to.
Yeah.
Laban lang. Ganoon naman eh.
Laban.
At the end of the day, sabi nga Tom Brady, you would remember the losses more than the wins. And those losses would propel you
Teach you.
moving forward and make you a better player. And gusto ko yung kinukwento niya during his interview with, I think it was with Colin Cowherd, that pag nakikita niya si Spike Lee, tapos pinapasahan niya ng bola, sinasalo pa rin sa ulo, sinisimulate yung helmet catch. Tapos pag dumarating siya, pag nakikita siya ng fans ng Philadelphia, they would be always calling, Philly Special! Dahil yun yung play na tinakbo ni Nick Foles. So, the losses will make you better, definitely. And Kansas would be a team that would be looked for next year. And Josh Allen might need to prove his MVP with the Bills.
Yes.
Dahil ako, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that he is the MVP of the season. Could have been Saquon. Ba't ako Lamar Jackson ako doon?
Lamar Jackson to.
Tapos speaking of, nakalagay doon sa comment yung Kobe, no? Yun yung Mamba mentality na pinipitch ni Kobe is finding ways and figuring out ways to get the W. Diba? You're not always gonna win, but as long as you learn from those mistakes and you learn from those defeats,
Yes.
you're never gonna be on the losing end when it's all said and done.
All I can say is they earned what they have right now, so congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Dina, and thank you so much, Coach Hammer.
I'm so sorry for coughing so bad. I'm still under the weather, and I was so excited. I woke up very early today just to watch
Same.
all the pregame, run a workout, and watch a Super Bowl, and then worked out all at the same time.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sports fans, if you're ready to elevate your sports experience, register now at sportsplus.ph. And of course, follow us on our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more updates. Thank you guys so much again and again. Once again, I'm Kyla Curtis with Dina Lee and Coach Martin Antonio. Bye, guys. Have a great Monday.